Just a little over a week after 16-year-old Justin Ritchie was gunned down in his East New York neighborhood, a community still grieves. Tragically, Ritchie's was only the third youth killing in Brooklyn within a matter of days. And of course, the brutal and senseless murder of 15-year-old Junior Guzman Feliz last month in the Bronx is still fresh in the minds of most New Yorkers. What do these killings have in common? And are they a sign that New York City may be returning to those terrible days when crime and murder seem virtually routine? Joining us now to help answer those questions is Vincent Hill, a former Nashville police officer who is currently the host of the podcast Beyond the Badge and an anchor at Dan Abrams' Law and Crime Network. Vincent, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Vincent, as we speak, one suspect has been apprehended in the murder of Justin Ritchie, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about Ritchie himself. What happened to him? How was he killed? And are there parallels between his murder and that of Junior's?
Well, there are definitely parallels, right? We know that they were both what appear to be gang-related. Of course, with Junior, a case of mistaken identity. He was brutally killed. We all saw it on video. With Justin, there's allegations that his brother may have been a rival Crip member to the Bloods, and that's why he was targeted. That hasn't been confirmed, but that is speculation. So there's definitely this connection involving gangs in both of these killings.
So that's one connection. The other connection, of course, is that these are two young men. Are these signs that we may be heading down that road that I talked about in the introduction of getting closer to the bad old days where these crimes and these murders became almost routine?
I wish I could say no, but unfortunately, I think it is a sign of the times. For several reasons. You have a much younger crowd coming in that are being brought up on things like Fortnite and these games that just teach killing, and kids play these for hours and hours. Then you have a mass recruitment by gangs going on across this country, not just in New York, but across this country. And the third piece of that, which is very important, police are being less proactive because of everything going on with police right now, how they're viewed in the communities across this country. Police are saying, hey, we don't want to be proactive and go out and do things like field interviews, which could lead to guns, or traffic stops that could lead to guns. Police don't want to be the next individual in the mainstream.
So you're saying that even in New York City, the cops are being reactive rather than proactive, as we've seen in other cities around the country?
Absolutely. Even when you look at the...
What leads you to that conclusion?
Well, even when you look at the new stop and frisk regulation, right? A lot of officers say it's confusing, and a lot of officers here in New York have said, hey, we don't think the brass will have our back if we even make a stop. So when officers don't feel their chain of command supports them, then not only do small communities suffer, but the entire nation suffers, because this is going on across the country.
All right, so are there particular gangs that are getting more powerful and more dangerous in this city?
Well, obviously MS-13, that's...
In the city too, not just Long Island, in the city as well?
Probably just in Long Island for right now, but you can expect that to start spreading as well. Of course, the Bloods is a very well-known gang that's been in existence for quite a while. It started in L.A. I think Justin was actually killed allegedly by some Blood members. Yeah. And of course, anytime you're dealing with gangs, especially the Bloods, they will kill anyone. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. You told me, we had a conversation earlier, you said that you think the Bloods are as dangerous or more dangerous than MS-13.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, these guys are cutthroat. I mean, it's all business, whether it's drug, sex trade, you name it, it's all business. And anyone that gets in front of that business, they're going to be dealt with.
You know, one of the things we saw in the case of Justin Ritchie's murder that we don't see all the time, we've seen in other cases, is the community reaction. The community was up in arms. I mean, they marched almost immediately after the incident. They're angry, they're mad. To what degree does this help the police, first of all, apprehend the suspects?
Well, it helps a lot, right? Because a lot of times, unfortunately, with gangs, no one wants to say anything. But we already have one arrest in the murder of Justin Ritchie. I'm sure that was a tip to police. We don't know for sure, but I'm sure that's probably a tip to police. When you look at that video, there were several people standing by watching this, right? And the community's fed up of youngsters dying for no reason. Senseless killings of youngsters just out going to the store makes no sense So the police do need the community to step forward and to start speaking. It's cliche. If you see something, say something, but we have to.
And beyond the community helping catch or nab the killers, can the community or communities across the city contribute to stopping gangs and gang violence and perhaps stopping that slide into the bad old days?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it starts several ways, right? I mean, there's organizations in every city that are open for youth. I grew up in the church. My dad's a minister. So if we start getting back to that, these boys and girls clubs, these organizations, Big Brothers, Big Sister, anything that's positive, that's what we need to get back to.
And what can we do? Everybody do. Beyond that.
Beyond that, look out for each other. We have to. I mean, you have to look out for each other. I mean, when I watched that video of Justin Ritchie, before he was shot, there were at least 5 people that were just standing by watching, and no one tried to stop anything. Now, could it be because they were scared of retaliation? Absolutely. But I didn't see anyone call 911. I didn't see anything. So we have to look out for each other.
All right. Well, Vincent, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about this very important subject.
A pleasure. Thank you so much.